Hey guys, this is Rez, and today we're going to talk about typecasting and conversion. Okay? So typecasting is the easiest thing, where it tries and says, well, I'm going to look at it as if it's that. It's not really converting it. So I'll give you an example. We did it actually in the last little video, where we tried to put we're trying to put whatever's in the from the floating number box into my whole number box, which is an integer. So we're trying to put a double inside of an integer, but it can't fit. So we could just say, hey, you know what? Think of it as a integer, and whatever can't fit, we're just gonna squeeze it in, and whatever can't fit will just move away. Or like, try squeezing food inside of a jar that's smaller than the food. So the extra is just gonna get squeezed out. And in the case of the floating number, the extra is gonna be anything after dot. Okay, so it's just gonna be a whole number 3. However, typecasting isn't like a real conversion. Like I said, it's just forcing it in, and hopefully it's gonna work out. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll get crazy bugs, and etc. etc. Then there's the next thing. How do we convert something? Well, the good thing about C#, it's so it's the English language. So if you want to convert, just say you want to convert. Hey, convert dot, what do you want to convert it to? Well, I want to convert it to integer. We're going to keep it to 32 bits. I'm not going to explain why. For now, we'll stick to that. And then you mention, what do you want to convert to integer? Whatever the value is. So let's say our floating number. Now, what's the difference between this and the one we did before? Floating number, just putting it back up here. It's actually no big difference, because this is going to give you a 3. And this is also going to give you a 3, because this number doesn't make sense. However, why would I want to use this? Well, because this, if there's any bugs or crashes, we could kind of figure it out and do something about it. This, we don't have that much control at this point, right? This is just saying, hey, make it look as if it's an integer. And in this case, it's actually saying convert it to an integer and give me back that integer that's converted, right? So someone's actually doing the squeezing, and we don't have a mess beside us. And this is really good, because we could even do strings inside of a whole number, right? So if we try to give our string, so multiple characters here, and let's try to typecast it to int, multiple characters. You'll notice it doesn't even know how to look at it as if it was a integer. However, we could try and convert to int again, and we give it our string. And in this case, it's not going to give us an error, but depending on the case that it could or it could not convert it to int, it'll pop out a exception. Okay, with exceptions we could do stuff, but at least this time it could actually convert a string to an integer. Okay, well, in this case it's gonna crash, but in the next video we'll talk about why converting a string to an integer is actually useful. All right, so if you guys want, you could run it about. It's pretty easy. And notice that the convert, you could convert to anything pretty much, to int, to string, to all these other types that we didn't talk about. Where's my string? Oh, string was right there. Okay, to date time, to decimal. These are all different types, and if you look on the right side of our IntelliSense, you see a lot of types that are being shown. Okay, so in the next video we'll talk about read and write, and then we'll talk about how to put a string inside of an int. See you guys then.